Hello, folks. My name is Detroit Miracle. Yes, indeed. Well, I am here right now to discuss that fighting teacher. You know, many of you saw that video where that teacher had taken the student's phone from her and kept the phone. And then the female student tried to take the phone back. But after that, an altercation happened, and then the teacher and student got into a fight, and that student was fighting the teacher, swinging, and the teacher, who appeared more heavier and more intimidating, was able to get the better of the student, and she threw her to the ground and laid on her, and then she asked the class to get another teacher to come in here. Yeah, that fighter was a substitute teacher, so she wasn't the class's regular teacher. You know, to make a long story short, that teacher threw her to the ground, covered the student up, and wouldn't let her leave, and then she kept yelling, "Get an effing teacher, get an effing teacher, get an effing teacher." And then the student said something like, "Are y'all going to just sit around and watch this? Help me get this B off of me." And that's when the video ended. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever seen anything like that. Yeah. And you know, the funny thing is, or one of the funny things is that same teacher reminded me of my second grade teacher. I think it was a second grade teacher. Yeah, that teacher had an identical look, an identical shape, and an identical voice as my same teacher that I had in the second grade. And I had like a mean type of teacher. There was so much similarities between my teacher and the fighting teacher. For example, my teacher had the same skin color, like the same cheekbone structure, the same size. But the only difference is my teacher wore glasses, like she wore rim glasses, thin rimmed, but this fighting teacher didn't wear any. I'm not lying, people. They could have been sisters, but only like now, the teacher that I had at that time would probably be 80 years old. Yeah, that's indicating how much time has passed. I'm talking about a second grade teacher of mine. So you know a long time has transpired, even though y'all don't think I look that old. Yeah, that was the first thing. It was a big coincidence that this fighting teacher resembled one of my teachers from the past, but it's no big deal. Another part of the story is that teacher seemed to be dressed very, very sexy and seductive. Yeah, folks, I know many people aren't talking about that, but it appeared very strange. The teacher had on one of the shortest type of skirts, and then during the scuffle, when the teacher was bent down, you could see that she wasn't wearing any undergarments, or undergarments, rather. Yeah. Well, people are saying, "Detroit Miracle, why are you using these fancy words? Say what you're going to say. Don't mince your words." Well, the teacher didn't have on any underwear. You could clearly see when she was bent over that both of her bare cheeks was being shown in the video. And it made me think that, wow, that school had no type of dress code. And then with that being, even if it was high school students that were seniors in that class, which it didn't appear to be, I think it looked like a ninth grade class, but I might have been wrong. Either an eighth grade class, a middle school, or a ninth grade freshman class. But the girl that got her phone taken from the teacher didn't appear to be 17 or 18. She didn't look like a senior in high school. Yeah. That was the second thing that stood out. I know that teacher had to have noticed on that video that people would point to that as being something very, very suspicious. I even heard somebody reference in a statement that that teacher should get an OnlyFans page. Yeah. And I watched that teacher's live video. I watched most of it, but I didn't sit through all of it. She said somebody did suggest that she get an OnlyFans, but the teacher said she's not that type of person. She's a churchgoer or something to that effect. And I'm like thinking, would a godly, spiritual type of woman dress that seductively and wear something that short in class with the underwear removed? That's crazy. I know that is another story, and people would say, Detroit Miracle, just focus on the issue. Okay, fair enough. You know, what I saw in the video was that the student was, in fact, disrespectful in a way, but the teacher sort of threw gasoline on the fire by going full out rage on the student. She probably could have handled it a little bit differently. And I know the student was wrong, but the teacher was also wrong, and two wrongs don't make a right. Yeah. And I feel as though that teacher may have gotten in trouble because she was much more aggressive than the student was to her. And she was behaving a bit irresponsible in that. Yeah, we know that, hey, she took the phone from the girl, and the little girl tried to get the phone back. And then, you know, she said, don't touch me, don't touch me. And then the girl like still grabbed at it. And then the teacher went on. I can't remember who threw the first swing, but it doesn't really matter because the whole thing escalated and it shouldn't have got to that point. Yeah. Is it really a moral to that story? Where I think that teachers tend to establish certain types of friendships with certain kids in class instead of behaving like responsible, mature teachers. I've seen it myself in the classes that I went to earlier on in school. The teachers try to be friends with some of the students, and they always try to be friendly with the more popular students. But any other student, though, they like, oh, we're going to behave as their teachers and not their friends, though. But this person is cool. They're in the cool, hip classification, or they're in the in crowd. So, yeah, we want to be cool with them. We want to be friendly because we like that. But those teachers are supposed to be fair and equal amongst all the students and to all the students. They're not supposed to take favorites or have favoritism for any particular type of student or more. Yeah. They're supposed to be completely responsible that way. So when teachers do bring themselves down to the level of a student, they lose respect amongst the other students. Yeah, that happens too. Like, so, and I'm not saying that this teacher showed other kids in class favoritism, but it's certainly a possibility that she did. But don't quote me on that. Well, folks, thanks for tuning in, and I'd appreciate it if you would give me those likes, comments, and please subscribe to my channel.